All right, we don't want our enemy just sitting there so we can tap him. We want him to be moving. We want him to be attacking the planet because we're supposed to be protecting the planet. So we're going to change this from setting enemy X and Y to those values there. And now we're setting enemy X and Y using random again. So in math.random2, if it equals 1, what does that mean? Well, math.random2 is going to return either a 1 or a 2. Okay, so basically we're saying about half the time we want to do this, else do this. And all this is doing is enemy X is being set in one case to the just off the left side of the screen, and about half the time, randomly, the X value, the start value, is being set to just off the right-hand side of the screen. So it's either going to be coming from the left or the right, and then enemy Y, our vertical up and down orientation, is being set to somewhere between, it's doing math random again, somewhere between 1 and the height of the content. So instead of just doing enemy X equals this and enemy Y equals that, this chunk of code right here basically randomizes it. So it's going to come from somewhere off to the left or somewhere off to the right. And now we're doing our old friend transition 2, although we're doing something different here. Now, you know, up here we've got enemy X and enemy Y, and those are properties of the enemy display object. Enemy trans, is trans a property of this display object? Yes, because we said that it is, but it could be called Paul, or it could be called Foo, or it could be called anything you want. That's one of the cool things about Corona SDK, about Lua actually. You can add properties to these objects, which is just awesome. So this is going to be transition 2 returns something. I don't actually know what it's called, but we're gonna hold it in this thing called enemy.trans because we're gonna need it later. The thing is, we're gonna be killing these enemies, and these enemies are starting from point A, they're going to point B, but somewhere in the middle we're gonna kill them. At that point, we need to also get rid of this transition 2. The transition 2 is going to try to keep going, but the object is not going to be there anymore. We hold on to the handle to transition 2, and later on we'll use this to actually ditch this if we kill the enemy before he gets to the planet. So transition 2, we're doing the enemy. We're sending him to center X and center Y, which is where the planet lives. We're doing it over the course of 3.5 seconds. And when he gets there, we will know that he hit the planet. We missed getting him. We missed killing the spaceship, and he's going to hit the planet. Once he hits the planet, we need to do something there. Where is hit planet here? Okay, hit planet's down here. Again, like before, we're going to turn this into a function with a forward reference up here, so we can call it from anywhere. Hit planet is called, it passes in an object, and that, of course, is the enemy ship. And so we can get rid of that enemy ship with that line of code. We'll call planet damage, because bad things happen if you hit the planet. We'll do audio dot play, and we'll play sound blast, so the big explosion happens when the planet gets hit. And then since we got rid of that enemy, let's bring another enemy into play. So we'll call spawn enemy. We need to do one other thing that I forgot about. We need to change this to sound kill, and we need to cancel that transition. Remember I mentioned the transition that is right in the middle if we kill the ship? Well, that's going to be at event.target, which we know is whatever we tapped, and then we've got .trans on the end of that, and we just use transition.cancel to take care of that. So let's go ahead and run this. And when we start, we should get a ship from one side or the other. There we go. And we can kill him. One should come from the other side. There we go. And let's go ahead and miss this one. Ah, I can't get him. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'll let it go one more time. Okay, that's cool. So but we want something actually to happen more than that when the planet gets hit. So right up here in planet damage, let's add something. What we're going to add is, skip down past this function for a minute, we're going to add a transition 2. And we're going to make it happen on the planet over the course of 200 milliseconds, so very short. We're going to scale it up to 1.2 times its normal size, 1.2 times its for the X scale and the Y scale. The alpha is being set to 1, which we'll get into that later. And then on complete, after it scales it up, we do go away. And what go away does is it sets the X scale to 1, the Y scale to 1, and then the alpha to, we'll skip this for now, we'll get back to that. And actually, before we can do this, planet is set up right here, and it's set up as a local planet, which means this isn't going to work. We need to do the whole forward reference thing on planet because we want to be able to access it from anywhere. So now let's give this a shot and see what happens. As soon as the guy hits the planet, something should happen. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, so the planet just like... And we can mess with the display properties, or the properties of the display object, so that we could tilt the planet. We could do quite a few different things to it if we wanted to. But for right now, that looks pretty good.